Welcome to today's tutorial where I'll be teaching you how to design both a horizontal and vertical business card in just 10 short minutes. As a small business owner, oftentimes I know that we have to take on a bunch of different roles for our business, and sometimes that includes being a graphic designer. And I know the title alone can sound a little scary and intimidating, but I promise you, you don't have to be an expert or super creative to do graphic design. And nowadays, there are so many awesome design softwares like PIcsart, which is the one I'll be using in this video, that have so many tools that make creating designs super easy and convenient. And most importantly, beginner friendly. So a big thank you to our sponsor, PIcsart. So now onto the tutorial where I'm going to teach you step by step from start to finish how to design your very own business cards with your personal branding. And if you don't have personal branding, don't worry because you can still use all these tips and tricks to create your very own business card from scratch. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is click on New Project, and then I'm going to change this from pixels to inches. Typically, the standard business card size is 3.5 inches wide by 2 inches high. After I've entered the measurements, I'm going to click Create Canvas. Before we start designing, I wanted to show you guys a little tip that you can use. If you feel like you struggle at designing or just need a little creative touch, you can always search up templates in the search bar. I just typed in business cards and this is what popped up. And you can see that there are so many different designs and color schemes to help give you some ideas for what you want to make. Okay, now let's start designing. For video purposes, I'll be using some random branding that I created. I've just dragged in my logo and one of the little accents that are in my logo, and now I'm just going to crop that down to size. If you don't have an accent or a sub logo, this will probably still work with your logo. You just have to try it out and see if you'd like it, but this definitely will work best if you have an accent. Right now, I'm going to be creating a repeating pattern with these accents, and this is how I do it. I'm basically just going to be copying, pasting, and spacing. And you can see the purple guides there that allow me to space these evenly and snap right into place. Usually once I get 4 in a row, it's a lot easier to copy and paste these in bulk, but it does depend on the repeating pattern. In this case, it'll be super simple because it's just going to be straight lines. Once I've completed the full row, I'm going to copy and paste that and start working on my second row here, but I'm going to offset the placement for these. I do this because I like that kind of crisscross diagonal effect, but you can totally leave them in straight lines if you'd like. Once you've got the placement for your second row how you like it, all you're going to do is copy and paste the first and second row and create a third and fourth row. The next thing I'm going to be doing is changing the background color. Something to note is that if you know your brand's color codes, you can actually insert them here and get your exact brand colors. And if you don't know them, that's totally fine. You can always use the color grid to find the best match for your brand. And this is the finished repeating pattern. I think it came out so cute. And now I'm going to be heading into elements and adding a plain square to the design. I'm going to resize this square, and I have a couple different ideas of what I want to do here. It looks a little crazy now, but trust the process. My first thought is to cover a little more than half of the business card, and I will be changing the color of the square using the color picker to match the accent color. And that immediately changed the entire look, and I hope you guys kind of see the vibe I'm going for. Before adding in my logo again, I changed its color to the lighter pink instead of the darker pink so they wouldn't clash. And I am just cropping and resizing to get rid of all that unnecessary excess. The layout for this card will work great for someone who doesn't have too much to put on there. But if you do find yourself running out of space, you can always just extend the solid square to give yourself some extra room. And you can see that it still leaves enough of the repeating pattern to make it look cute and raise that brand awareness. And now it's time to fill out our business card, so the first thing that I'm doing is adding any important contact information. This step is going to look different for everyone depending on the type of business that you have. You may own a salon or a dentist office, or maybe you have a physical storefront location, in which case you need to put the address, the phone number, maybe the store hours or the office hours. Or maybe you're e-commerce or an online business, in which case you want to put your website and your contact email. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just adding some important information, and I'm also going to change the font to this to make it stand out a little bit and separate it from my logo. I found this font here that's called Dreaming Out Loud, and I thought it was really cute and it looks handwritten and has a really nice aesthetic. The next thing we're going to do is start adding some elements. And I'm just going to be searching up all the different icons that I'm going to be needing for all the different contact information and websites and things like that, as well as changing all the colors to match the colors of the text. This is definitely an optional step. You don't have to do this, but I personally feel like it just adds some pizzazz and makes it look more put together, and the little details do go a long way sometimes. Alright, so here I'm just adding in a random address, and as you can see, these three things will not fit side by side together on the bottom here. So if you find yourself running out of space or needing a little extra room, then this is what you can do instead. I'm simply just going to extend the dark pink color all the way to the end, And in order to still show some of the repeating pattern, I'm just going to lift from the bottom up just enough for a little row to show. And as you can see, that accent is still peeking through, and now I have so much more space for the width. And now all three things fit together side by side, but I'm just going to go ahead and give a little bit more of a clear division. So using a square element, I'm just going to size these down and change the colors to create dividers. This is such a small but easy and simple hack, and it makes such a big difference. On this upper right hand corner, I'm kind of adding some keywords or a description, if you will. And here I'm just changing the line spacing because that is just way too far apart. But you can put whatever you like here, maybe an incentive or a call to action or maybe services that you offer. It's really up to you. On the left hand side, I'm just going to be adding some of my social medias, and I do feel that this is pretty important to have on a business card as a lot of customers like social credibility. And here I'm just adding in all the different social media logos, and you definitely don't have to list them all, just add whatever you have. But just in my personal opinion, I do feel that Facebook and Instagram are probably on the top of the list. This is also optional, though I really recommend it. I'm adding my username. And if you want to go a step further, you can even add a QR code that can redirect wherever you want. And I'm just using a random one for the purpose of this video. And to add the final touch on the right side of the business card, I'm going to be adding my website. So this is the final look of our business card, and as you can see, it is super cute, detailed, professional looking. And overall, it really wasn't that difficult to make, and the designing process does not have to be hard. But I know what you may be thinking, Noelle, what if I wanted it vertical instead? And I've totally got you covered, so now let me quickly show you how I would make a vertical business card. So let's go ahead and create a new project, and this time I'm going to be entering 2 for the width and 3.5 for the height. I just inserted my logo, and again, I'm just going to go ahead and crop off all the excess. And for this vertical business card, I'll be placing my logo at the top in the center. Next up, I'm going to be changing the background for this using the color picker. And this time around, instead of creating a repeating pattern, I'm just going to go ahead and insert my little sub logo or accent. But before doing anything with that, I'm going to go ahead and add a basic square to create the same effect as we did with the last business card, only this time it's going to be vertical. And for this style, I'm not too sure that covering only half would look good, so I'm just going to go ahead and do like pretty much the entire page and just leave a little slit at the end. Next, I'm just going to change the color of the square to match my branding, and now I'm just going to be making a straight row with the accents on the bottom. Once I've got 2 that are positioned evenly, I'm just going to copy and paste those to fill up the rest of the space. I decided to resize my logo just to best fit the space here. And right underneath, I'm going to be putting the header, which will basically be just the description that I put for the last card. Because this way is a little bit more narrow, you might have to cut some things out if you're running low on space. Next, we're going to add in all that same important information as we did before, but this time around they're going to be lined up instead of side by side. And again, you can customize this according to your business. Maybe you want to add store hours instead or different things like that. And I'm just going to repeat the same process and adding all the different icons for all the different contact information. And just a really quick side note, if you did want your business cards double-sided, all you would have to do is create 2 different canvases for the front and the back, and then download those and upload them to wherever you're going to get these printed, or you can print them at home. And if you're wondering how, I do have this tutorial here on the upper right hand corner that you can check out. And I actually have a lot of other DIY tutorials as well, like for thank you cards, product cards, all that good stuff. So make sure to check out my channel and make sure to subscribe to see all things small business and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. And again, I just added in a random QR code for reference. And that's actually an essential to this style in particular because it saves so much space. I also added in an arrow and a little text underneath that says scan me as a call to action. And also just as an instruction in case your prospects don't know what the QR code is for. And in this case, I definitely recommend linking your QR code to a landing page that has all of this information as well as your social media. You can create a landing page on your website, or you can even use something like Linktree or link in bio. And you can see that QR code really does save a bunch of space as opposed to having all those social media icons and your social media username. That would have been just a little overkill and would have looked a little too cluttered. Alright, you guys, and that is the finished look for the vertical business card. What do you guys think? I would definitely love to hear your opinions on this as well. Do you prefer a horizontal business card or a vertical business card? Let me know in the comments down below. Creating a business card that is informative, enticing, and memorable is so important to be gaining traction from them. In addition to all those things, it's also less likely that they'll be thrown away if the presentation is really nice. I really hope you found this video helpful, and as you saw, it really doesn't have to be difficult or complicated, especially when you're using something like PicSart that offers so many awesome tools to make it simple. So now that you know what to do, head over to PicSart to start designing your business cards, and I'll have that linked in the description for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video, and make sure to check out my TikTok and Instagram for more content, and I will see you in the next one.